Was it playing before? Was it playing before? No.
Get it on in here. Let's see if this is. We're on. I just got a text. Here we are.
How do you know we're on?
I just got a text message that says we're on. I can hear you. So
okay.
Apparently we're on and you can hear us. So welcome to Backwoods TV Live. We're I don't know, a little bit difficult yet, but
Carl's a smart one. I'm just a talent.
Well, guys, we're here in Ohio. It is the rut.
I don't know why we're doing this during the rut. The deer are going crazy here. They're going crazy everywhere right now.
Yeah, and you know, one thing's true. You can take the boy out of the woods. You can't take the woods out of the boy. That's certainly Dan's philosophy. So,
yep.
But we're here. It is after dark. And on the way back, you had some hunters out tonight, didn't you?
Yeah, we do run hunts here in Ohio and Kentucky. I've got 3 clients in town, and they all saw bucks tonight, but we just didn't get them close enough. But as I'm pulling in, because I have to come and do a live event, and I just made it in time, I got a cow pasture right beside me. The craziest thing I've ever seen, guys. There's a nice 8-point, probably 140-inch 8-point on my yard, sticking his antlers through the fence at a small 6-point out in the cow pasture. Now, the rut is in full swing. I've seen bucks with does locked down today. I've seen them running them, chasing them. I've seen bucks just wandering around out in the middle of the fields. But guys, if you're not in the woods, you need to get in the woods quickly, because this action is on fire and it's going to stay like this for about the next week or two here in Ohio, Kentucky. I even got a call from a buddy of mine down in North Carolina seeing all kinds of bucks down there. So.
Yeah, and it's, you know, it's funny because this is the time of year that guys live for, right? Yeah. We live for the rut. We get so excited. We almost lose our minds as much as the bucks do sometimes.
Yeah, I think my neck swells up too.
But you know, one of the things that's always struck me is you and I, we both know people that will only hunt this time of year.
Yeah.
They don't like to go out early season.
Right.
They wait until, you know, the experts will say, hey, the rut's going to start at 5:30.
November 5th or something like that. I hate the rut, guys, because every time the rut kicks in, you don't know. Your bucks have left sometimes, and they're on the neighbors' farms, and now you got all the neighbors' farm deer over on you, and it's just total chaos. I mean, it's exciting. You get to see deer that you've never seen before on your trail cameras, and but trying to get a shot sometimes at a deer running Mach 2 at 20 yards and you can't get them stopped, that gets a little frustrating. But I personally, I like the beginning of the season and I like the late season when you get them locked in on the food plots, and so far we've already had a great season this year.
We have. We've had a really good season. You know, for me, it started out this year.
Yeah, right off the bat.
Right off the bat. You know, last year, guys, I sat and waited for a good buck.
Yep, you were looking for a 160 or better. So.
And we passed on a lot of deer, saw a lot of deer. I ended up hunting for 5 months, all the way to the very end of the season. And I ate my tag, and you know what? I'm fine with that. I've shot lots of deer, and you know, it was a choice that we made to save some of the deer that we had around for another year. And you know, but this year was a completely different story. If
since he didn't fill his tag, he got the first pick, and every year we draw straws for Killing Tree, because guys, if you watch the show for the last 10 years, you see the Killing Tree opening weekend every year here in Ohio, and somebody just destroys a very nice buck in there.
Yeah.
And we don't have a ton of deer in that spot, but we let the 2.5s and some of them 3.5s, we let them get older because we pretty much guarantee we're going to get them. And you went in there opening morning and it was on fire.
It was absolutely on fire. And you know, the funny thing is the difference between 1 year and the next year. Last year, I hunted, you know, 5 months without filling my tag. This year I bought my tag at like 5 o'clock in the morning on opening day in a panic because I forgot to do it the night before. I was so excited that opening day was coming.
Make sure you got your deer tag in your pocket before you go to the woods.
But I got up, I was getting ready to leave. I bought my tag at 5, and by 8 o'clock I had it filled this year.
Yeah.
And you know, the killing tree, like you said, has always been, in fact, one of my favorite hunts that we've ever, and we've been doing this a long time, 10, 11, 12 years, something like that now. But one of my favorite hunts, you were coming home from Newfoundland on a moose hunt.
Oh gosh, yeah. Yeah.
And had just got home. Paul and I were in the killing tree on opening day.
Poaching from my tree on opening day.
Well, it wasn't poaching.
No, I'm just kidding.
But I shot a really nice 17-point, high and tight, just beautiful buck.
176-inch animal.
Yeah, and had just not gotten an opportunity on another buck, 14-point, 150-some inch.
Yeah.
That got into the honeysuckle. I couldn't get a shot on him. But I shot that buck, and 5 minutes later, that big 150 comes walking back in, and Paul was able, I was able to switch equipment with him. I took the camera, he took the bow, and I remember calling you. You just walked in the door, and you said...
I just walked in the door. I kissed Miss Lori. I was putting meat in the freezer, and Paul's on the phone going, "Bring your tag." Why? There's more bucks down here. We can sneak you into it.
Yeah.
Right. What a crazy night. We both got 2 of them. And then the next day, Sean Perdue shoots wide load. And guys, opening day, you just got to get out there. I mean, all the deer are there then.
Yeah.
You know, right now, you drive up and down the roads, you got deer, does, and bucks, and big bucks, and little bucks getting slammed into cars. And, you know, we're losing some of those quality bucks. So why do we wait for the rut all the time? Mm-hmm. But it is total chaos. It's a freak show right now out there.
Well, and even this year, on opening day, I took that buck on opening morning. That evening, Kevin
shot tumor buck.
Shot the tumor buck. Paul's son-in-law, they were out, and he was a nice buck. On 140-some inch buck, probably.
Yep, and he had a soccer ball goiter on his chest, guys, and this deer was hurt. And he either had a stick jammed in it or he got hit by a car. But what was funny, we've been feeding Build the Bone mineral since last April. We started putting it back out. This deer was a sucker for that mineral, and he even walks past a pile of corn and sticks his nose in that right in front of Kevin at 20 yards, and he pulled a heck of a shot. And Paul kept sending me pictures of this deer while he was in velvet and everything, but every time you looked at the picture, you always looked at this big mass on his chest, and you never really looked at his horns. I thought he was like 120, maybe 120. He ends up being a 135-inch buck.
Yeah.
Nice 4-year-old. He just has this big, ugly mass on his chest, and we had to get him out of the herd. So.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't just me and Kevin. I mean, this is kind of a deer season update, so to speak.
Yep.
Kevin and I shot on opening day. We had Chad Dwyer.
Oh, he shot a beautiful buck. Yeah.
Shot a monster buck.
On camera with the Excalibur.
So. Early season.
Yep. Yep.
And you know, Rob Dykeman was in.
Yep.
He was looking for a really good buck, saw some good deer.
Yep.
But couldn't get a shot off on one. Then just, what was it, last week, Bill and Kath Trowbridge, the founders of Excalibur Crossbow.
Wait a minute, I killed a buck.
Oh, that's right.
Before them, I got my buck off of one of the food plots.
Off of one of the food
And
plots.
then Bill and Kath came in, the founders of Excalibur Crossbows, real good friends, great people. And they come in to hunt with us every year. And Bill on the last night.
Yeah.
And it didn't take long, did it?
It didn't take long. And Bill was hunting that spot where we were.
The stairway.
And he was able to fill his tag on the last day of his hunt.
Yeah.
And it was a lot of fun to be there and to see that. But I think the point is, the deer are going crazy right now.
Yeah.
They're all over the place. They're running. And like I said earlier, we know people that only like to hunt during the rut. They only hunt that time period.
Right.
And unfortunately, they're missing out on some really good early season hunting and late season hunting.
But I understand it. If you only have 5 days for vacation, to yourself to go out hunting, you're going to go during the rut.
Sure.
But if you could span that out a little bit, maybe hunt like 2 days and then have your weekend and then hunt the rut and then do some late season or some early season stuff, guys, you'd be amazed. Because after the rut, 2 weeks from now, the does are going to go out of cycle, and those bucks are going to have to go back to the feed source. And if that's the acorns or food plots, or if you still got standing soybeans, they're going to be there because they've lost all this energy, and it's just starting to get cold. Tomorrow morning it's going to be 27 degrees. Them deer are going to be running hard, but they know that they're not going to breed all the does. Here in Ohio, we have about 4 different ruts. We see a rut sometimes in February. Some of those little young does are being bred in February. One thing that guys, they don't understand, but if your bucks still have their antlers in January, I can remember this when there wasn't a lot of deer around here in Ohio. We'd go out the beginning of January and you'd shoot a buck with a muzzleloader and he'd run across the field and an antler would fall off. Well, an indicator of that is his testosterone levels have dropped and the does have all been bred. As long as he knows there's does out there to breed, his testosterone levels will stay high and his antlers will stay on his head. Well, now we're starting to see deer February, March with antlers on their head, and it's because we have a high concentration of does and they're not able to breed all the bucks. The bucks aren't able to breed all the does. But just a little bit of insight there.
Sure.
Love the rut. Love the rut. I don't know why we're doing this in the rut.
But one thing to keep in mind too with all of that, having said all of that, is if the rut comes and goes and you still have your buck tag,
just wait for the next moon, guys.
Just wait.
Yep.
And continue, keep hunting.
Yep.
Whether it's, now we're getting post-rut, well, we're in the rut, but once the rut's over, it doesn't mean that your season has to be over. You can keep on hunting with this.
So why are we doing live events, Carl?
Well, one of the reasons we want to kind of keep you up to date with the show, with things that are going on with us.
The show's not airing right now. We're in the dark period, but we'll be starting up again second quarter on the Sportsman Channel next year. And right now we're collecting all that footage, guys. And you watch the television show, and we put 3 or 4 whitetails on there, or 2 black bears per episode. We're kind of a killing episode. But it takes us a long time. Everybody hunts all year in order to accumulate your kills. So.
Right. So this is probably actually one of our busiest times of the year.
Yeah.
When the shows are airing, we kind of sit back and watch it.
Yeah.
This time of year, we're out gathering the footage. We're getting ready. It won't be too much longer. We'll be hot and heavy editing all this footage, and we've got some great footage already. And so we want to do this live stream to kind of keep you up to speed with what we're doing.
Yeah.
We also just want to talk about our favorite crossbows, the Excalibur Crossbows, the best on the market, the only ones in our opinion that are worth taking out into the field.
If you watch the destruction challenges, guys, I beat the hell out of this bow right here, and there's a good reason why. I choose Excaliburs because there's a lot of junk out there, and when I go to the woods, I want the most reliable, dependable equipment out there.
Yeah. So, we're just starting to get our feet wet with this, trying to figure out how it is that we even do this. We're kind of mid-tech. We're not high-tech, we're not low-tech, we're kind of mid-tech, but...
we got the television show side figured out, but this live stream stuff's a whole new animal.
But our hope is that we can have a conversation. If you've got questions, at some point we want to be able to maybe show you some new products if we get our hands on new products from Excalibur.
Little Birdie told me there's some new Excaliburs coming out November 1st, and we're going to show them here on live stream as well.
Yep, but we'll show you some tips, some techniques, cocking, decocking, checking your brace height, sighting in, care and maintenance, stuff like that that'll help you get the most out of a crossbow that's going to perform for you for a lifetime. But guys, get in touch with us. I'd encourage you to follow us on Facebook. So we are at on Facebook. It's facebook.com/Backwoods TV, and it's Backwoods TV on YouTube. So you're going to see lots and lots and lots of animals getting killed with the Excalibur crossbows on those channels there.
But we also use our guns.
We do. As a matter of
Just
fact,
last week I came back from Newfoundland,
yeah,
and me and Paul were headed up there, and we had Leo Herman in camp with us, and we had a heck of a week, guys. Leo shot a really nice big bull.
Yeah, yours was no slouch though.
No, mine wasn't a slouch either. But it was cool because I harvested my bull first on the first day. Took a little longer shot than I'm used to, but I pinned him at 450 yards, and it's pretty funny. You guys will see the footage. Here I go running up, because when you hit a moose and you knock them down, you better get on top of them real quick, because if you just rattle the spine, those animals can get up and put the miles on, and the farther they go, that means the farther you got to pack his butt back to the truck.
That's right.
So I take off running after him, and a doe or a cow goes running over to him, sees a big old bear, me, running, and she gets freaked out, and she goes over there and goes running in circles around the bull that's trying to pass away. He gets excited and stands back up, and I have to shoot him again. So it was, and then the whole time you see my little butt running, and then all of a sudden he stands up and I have to shoot him again. And then that gave me the opportunity to get in behind Leo, and he was being guided by Boyd up at Newfoundland Adventures. Just love it up there, guys. I've been going to Newfoundland Adventures for 9 years now. But Leo, we took off after a bull that was 1.5 miles away, and he just pinned him at 250 yards. He was courting another cow. And then Paul, he got in behind Todd's daughter, Leslie, and she shot a beautiful woodland caribou. One of the only places you can hunt woodland caribou, I think the only place I know in North America, is in Newfoundland. And she got the And Paul was the only one that didn't really score, but of the week. And our game is running cameras and showing and the guide's telling them to shoot. Paul's saying, "Do you got camera light?" And there was just no camera light, so Paul put the gun down. But or he would have killed another big slab bull with Newfoundland Adventures. But just next week, are we doing a live stream next week too?
Oh, maybe.
We're going to be down at my farm in Kentucky. We own a nice big farm down there, and we kind of look forward to heading down to Kentucky for opening day of the modern gun season. And it's a time to get our frustrations out on the deer that don't get within archery range. And now we can whop them with those guns. Right?
And the benefit for us is you and I are both tagged out here in Ohio.
Yeah.
So we don't have to worry about.
It's a good thing, but a bad thing. Right now, I saw some good bucks today. I wish I'd had my tag on it. But yeah, we can go down there and we get the opportunity to harvest another animal.
Yeah. So guys, just keep in touch. Send us some questions if you got questions about your Excalibur. If you have questions about the show, whatever. We're pretty easy to talk to. We're good guys, and it'll give us something to talk about.
He's
so
the nice one. I'm
stand up here blathering all night. So, but that's probably going to wrap us up for tonight.
Go on BackwoodsTV.com. You guys can watch some hunts on there. We also got the YouTube channel going pretty good. We'll get you some newer, updated hunts up there, but one thing with running a television show, you have to air that footage before you can put it online. The networks don't really like you being online. We know why, because they want you to watch the network. But it's a lot easier for you guys to watch it whenever you want to on Backwoods TV or YouTube, or you guys can also watch some of those hunts over on Excalibur's websites as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So thanks for tuning in, guys. And like I said, send us your questions. And I think it's going to wrap us up for the night. But
on the future live events, I'll prove to you why this bow is the most dependable one out there.
There you go.
So let's go eat.
Let's go eat, guys. Good luck during the rut. If you still got your tag, have fun, be safe, and I guess we'll catch you next time.
Get up in the trees, boys.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Good job.
That went harder.
19 minutes and 45 seconds.